Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And today we are back with an old acquaintance of ours, DREO. And not only DREO, also another competitor is in the game today, because we compare the TurboPoly Fan 765S with a widely used Lasco fan and see what sets apart those newer DREO models with all the smart features and 3D oscillation and so on and so on. But as always, such a product journey starts with a box.
And that's the box. Yes, let's get that fan out of there. And yeah, as we are used from DREO, everything is well packed in pre-assembled pieces, heavy base plate, yeah, that secures a good stand for the desk. And here we have a little extra, yeah, a foot for transforming that in a remote, and everything is assembled quite easy. You just have to assemble the stand. The fan comes in fully assembled, nothing to do there. Screw something together, bam, and the fan is done. The Lasco, on the other hand, smaller package, less package material. That's quite nice from an environmental standpoint, but then it's getting a little bit more complicated because you have to assemble the fan itself. And just like that, setup is done. And you immediately notice this is the classic fan feeling. You've got familiar clicking when adjusting the position and the buttons and all that give you just that good old fan feeling. But one thing that stands out on this model is the flexible outer shell. Now at first glance that might come across as a bit cheap, but anyone who ever used such a fan in this size knows the problem. Those rigid parts tend to snap pretty easily over time, and that's exactly what this design is trying to avoid. But let's put them side by side for a second, and yeah, let's peel off that last protective film on the DREO. And I mean, just look at them. Standing next to each other like this, they honestly feel like they're from completely different decades. Now, when it comes to control, the difference becomes even more obvious. On the DREO, you can control pretty much every movement option right from the remote, and that's not even bringing the app into the picture yet. So everything just feels quite effortless with no need to get up. Everything happens right in your hand. Meanwhile here, for pretty much the only real function, the horizontal rotation, you're back to using that classic little pin to turn it on or off that is located at the back of the motor. And that right there already shows one of the biggest advantages of the TurboPoly fans. Because instead of just moving left and right, you're getting a full 3D airflow system. A dual-axis oscillation combines 150 degrees horizontally with 100 degrees vertically, all working together in one airflow path. Which means fewer dead zones and much smoother, more even distributed of air across the entire room. And yeah, you can actually feel the difference. On the other hand, the Lasco is pretty simple when it comes to features. You've got 3 speeds that you can control either with the remote or right on the fan itself. And there's also a handy auto-off function. It's perfect if you want to fall asleep next to it, or if you just want to make sure it doesn't keep running all day long. Really, that's about it. Nothing fancy, just a solid and reliable fan here. And the thing about controlling the airflow on the DREO I nearly forgot to mention is the possibility to control it by pointing the remote and holding down the middle button, so you can shift the direction of the airflow in real time. It's one of these small touches that just makes interacting with the fan feel more playful and almost like a video game, like the Wii remote or something like that. Almost like you're guiding a little breeze exactly where you want it. Pretty cool stuff there. But so, how does all this translate when we actually put them to a test? So let's start with our little airflow test here. That object there, or that little foil, is 3.5 meters away from the fan, and the DREO has 12 different speed levels plus a turbo mode, while the Lasco is more straightforward with just 3. For the sake of comparison, I paired the lower, middle and the highest settings roughly between the two, so you can see the difference in action. So I compared 1 to 1 and the 2 to 5, so 2 on the Lasco is the 5 on DREO, and 12 or max is then the third option. Honestly, it's interesting to see how the finer gradations on the DREO gives you a lot more control over exactly how much air you want hitting that spot. But just take in the pictures and decide for yourself what you make out of it. Now, at the first glance, you might think the end result looks pretty much identical. But once you bring in the anemometer, the difference becomes obvious, because naturally a smaller surface has to push air at a higher speed than a larger fan to achieve the same airflow. And as you can see, our Lasco unit is pushing around 10 kilometers per hour on its lowest setting and around 15 to 16 kilometers per hour at the top end. The DREO, on the other hand, once again shows off its wide range of levels, starting at a gentle 8 to 9 kilometers per hour, and with turbo mode it's already pushing close to that 20 kilometer an hour mark. Now, if you're thinking that automatically means that the DREO has to be way louder, or that it's basically moving in like a tiny wasp in your living room, and while the Lasco is just quietly cools things down, well, our measurements might surprise you. At first, the DREO operates on those lower levels in a range that's pretty much barely audible, something you simply can't achieve with the Lasco at all. That's why I'm only bringing the Lasco into the comparison once we reach a noise level where it can actually run on its lowest setting. And to be honest, from my experience with DREO fans over the years, I end up using them mostly on those lower levels anyway. They deliver a cool, refreshing breeze without ever becoming distracting or loud. It's that perfect balance of comfort and smooth performance that makes it incredibly easy to just forget the fan is even there. On the highest settings, of course, they get pretty close in terms of noise levels, but you definitely don't have to worry about the DREO ever sounding shrill or harsh in any way because of its small form factor. Once you fully automate it through the app, it's very easy to forget it's even there. You can not only adjust the position in a really intuitive way, but also set up schedules for when the fan should run and when it shouldn't, or even build out full smart home automations if you're into that. But if you were paying close attention, you might have noticed something's missing from the unboxing. This little piece right there. And with that, you can actually transform the Poly Fan from a standing fan into a desk fan in just a few seconds. Pretty awesome package, if you ask me.
And that's about it from my side about the 765 from DREO, 765S from DREO. A really great fan once again with a great working app. I don't want to hide that I'm a fan at this point from DREO, because every product we had in our office or we had to work with just worked like a charm and yeah, fulfilled every promise they make. So really good fan once again, also great value for the money. And if you want to find out more about that fan, just check out the description below. There you find all the links you need, maybe also a discount code. Not sure at the moment, just check out the description below. And if you have any more questions, just drop us a comment. And don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and hit the bell button if you want to see more of those videos we make. And so long, I wish you a perfectly cool day, and I say bye bye.